Right, so we're on record now. And, yep, it's working. So we are busy in our encrypted. We've got all our inputs. We were doing all the inputs from these components. And this EDT encrypted, when we click on add this message, the encrypted section is going to go here. Now, obviously, you're going to make your edit box large, and this one will have to be large, or maybe we can put a rich edit here too, you know. You could possibly use a rich edit here, so just think of that. So I'm going to BTN add this message. At the same time as adding it, I am going to encrypt it as well. So I'm going to encrypt it before I add that message to my table. The table being the message table in my database over here. So inserting a row here. The data module, you don't actually have to open it all the time, but it's always good sometimes to see what your ADO table component names are, or what the query message. That query messages is the code component I use for queries. So we need to know the names of these things. But anyway, we've got that down. We are busy encrypting our message, and we decided that for X, Y, and Z we were going to go to 2 characters. I made an alpha. You can decide what you want. You can put all the numbers at the end, or mix it up even. And so I've made a constant here, and this is a constant. It's not going to change ever. Can't change it in code even. And we are building an encrypted string for each character of the original one. First of all, we're upcasing it. If it's X, Y, and Z, then we're going to go to encrypted. We're adding the character, 2 characters to the left. That's k minus 2 from the alpha constant. If it's 0 to 9, now of course upcase is not going to influence the 0 to 9. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. We can carry it on as numbers. Then we will go and put in, we're going to go and find the position of the character S original K. If it's a 1 or 2 or 3, we'll find the position of that and then add 3. But why aren't we doing it here? Well, we didn't have to do the pos here. We could have done exactly what we did there. Stupid. I could have just said K plus 3 here, like such, and they would have been fine. Okay. Now what about A to Z? But weren't we doing that K plus 3? I'll tell you what, let's add asterisks every time we have an integer. So I'm just going to put in a star for integers. Then the A to Z, I will do the K plus 3. So I'm going to copy and paste this. So obviously you're going to make your own cipher up. There I have my encrypted K plus 3. Now what if it's any other character, any other random symbol, a hashtag or a star or a whatever? I'm just going to add stars. I'm going to add stars for anything that's a number, but you must decide what you want to add. Okay, so you make up your own code here, and you can make your own constant there. I'm recording, is it okay? Okay, I'm keeping recording. Okay, I'll go slow. Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. Forgot about that. Must be A to W. Because we read. Right, you can't copy this code. You have to do your own cipher. Oh, this is end of case. Okay, so we have to be extremely careful over here because and begin and end. We have one begin and an end, and this does not here. This is not here. We don't have the end of case here. So this is the tricky part, making sure your case matching up your begins and ends. This is a very tricky part indeed, because I'm having an issue here with this 1 and the naught. So what you need to do, and in fact I found that if I print code, I can actually see what's happening with it. So if I say, okay, this is the end of my procedure, then I must go and match up all the other begins and ends. That end is matched up with this begin. So this is end of using data module. But here we have a situation. We have a case within a case. See that? I have a case, begin and end, but then I have another for loop with begin and end. So this one, these comments here are not actually going to work. Oops. So I'm going to delete those comments because I don't think they're actually right. So this else part has only got one thing, so I'm going to get rid of that begin and end. And then this end over here must be the end of case for each character. Sometimes printing out the code actually helps in this thing. Remember that case will have an end with no begin. And then we have the end of the for loop. See, in this begin and end here we have S encrypted, then we have a for loop with begin and end. And that for loop has got a case. So I'm going to say that this is the end of the for loop. You have to make sure that your for loop has it. Now we have to have another end here for end of option naught. That is for my cipher, first cipher that I'm going to, because they say we have to have two ciphers. And now it's working. Do you see that? Now it's fine, because I've figured out where the begins and ends and what they are. So you make sure that you sort that one out, and of course you can do that in your own time. Like I said, a lot of the time you have to do work at home as well. Now we'll see that we have a situation here also with ends here. There's supposed to be only one end, and that is the end of case. This first case, end of case for item index of radio group box. So that's the end of that case. Now I'm leaving this one begin and end, I'm leaving it open. You can put your own cipher in there. So you can use the same sort of cipher as what I've got here. Maybe a different combination of what letters you want to do and what you want to do with the, this is with the other characters, any other symbols, etc. This else part is for any other symbols. You can do something else with that if you want. You can leave a space, or you can... Oh, what about a space? We forgot about a space, didn't we? So we've got to add another option here, a space. We will just add a space. That's what we will do. Character number K. Or you can go and put a space in. So we have to worry about the space as well, so I'm just going to put a space there, so it's fine. Okay. Or if you want to really be funny, we can use dashes, you know. Mix it up, because we're trying to make this really encrypted so that people can't guess what the password is. So we have to worry about spaces, we have to worry about numbers, we have to worry about X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, all the way up. We have to worry about any other characters, and that's where the else part comes in. So that is actually what's happening here. Okay, so that is the end of that. And then we've already written the code to go with the data module, do an insert and a dot post, but now we got the encrypted, so that's fine, and then we do the display. Now that will work quite fine. I'm going to try and add a row to the table. Like Daisy there. Okay, so I'm going to say, okay, it's not delivered. Let's click on this. And there it is. Now it says wide memo. I used that data type and maybe was a bit of a mistake. We didn't display the encrypted message in this other edit box. Maybe we can do that. You don't have to. But let's go and look at this. If I said, okay, there it is. But unfortunately, this wide memo doesn't get displayed in the database. So that is a bit of a problem. Because my design view, I used long text. Maybe I must just keep it short text. Right, we'll just keep it short text, okay? We'll just keep it short text, and then we'll be able to see the database. There it is, and there's my encrypted code. Gosh, I has become a number 3, and this, all of these LIKE has become numbers. That's interesting. Anyway, we can delete it. Oh, I forgot to put that in. Let's put that in. Okay, edit input. Let's go and add this message. Right. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Even if it is numbers, it's fine. It's fine. Because of my code that I use. We can decrypt. We can have a button to decrypt a message, which is what we have to do. Excuse me. But we've got all of the encrypted messages in the database now. We can go and decrypt the message whenever we want. We'll do that later on. The process here now is to make sure we know how to manipulate the database. Now, maybe I don't want to put an edit box here to display the encrypted message. It's fine. We don't have to, because why? It gets displayed there anyway when we add it. I'm now going to go to edit a message. I don't know if you're with me. If we edit a message, then well, what happens when we go to this the tab sheet for edit? So we can see all our messages. Let's say we want to change something. Why have I not got a type here? If we look at the database, I had a field called type, which I did not actually fill in any of the, and I can't remember what that was supposed to be, and I think I'm actually going to leave it out. So I can delete that field type. No problem. I'm going to right click on it. So this is how you delete a field in your database. You right click on it and then you click on delete rows. Yes. Okay. Well, have you got your code like this? I mean, you mean when you run your program, it's not showing the database in the grid, because you haven't got your database grid connected to the right data source. Click on your database grid and go to data source properties. And then make sure you're using the same data source that's connected to the ADO table component that we are busy with. Go to the message data module. I'm giving you some solutions here if you can't see things. You go and reconnect your database, build, make sure it is connected, and then go to the ADO table components and make sure they are connected to the con message component, make the active property true. And if you can't make the active property true, you have to go and reconnect the tables, but not the query messages. Query messages, you do not make active property true. This query component, you don't touch it. All you're doing is connecting it with the con connection component over here. So the query messages component, you don't say active equals true. If you do that, your queries won't work. It's only the ADO table components that you make the active property true here, if that's what you so wish to do. You don't even have to do that. Right, so I've got to move on here with editor message. We have to choose what we want to edit about a message. You have to decide as programmers what field are we going to change. First of all, we need to choose a message that we want to edit. Then we have to choose what item about that message do we want to edit. And that's where we're going to come in with two combo boxes. And this is quite tricky. And this is the best way to do it, to make it user-friendly. So there's a lot of things that we might want to edit in our table. I'm going to go and look at my ERD diagram again. Now remember, I deleted one of the fields of the message table. I don't know why I had type there. Why did I have type? Okay, it looks like it is deleted anyway. And I'll go to Database Tools Relationships. There it is. So if you're ever in doubt, if you've made changes, just go and screenshot your relationship again into a Word document so you can view it quicker. It's much easier to look at your Word document with your relationship diagram than to actually open the database each time. So I did delete a field in the message table, in my table, which is why I've copied it again. Looks like that was updated, but yet my database had a type in it for some unknown reason. I don't know why. So we're not dealing with the many side now. We're dealing with the one side, and we have to decide. You got to decide. What things are we going to change here? Are we going to change our message itself? No. Are we going to change the delivered or the date sent? I think those are two things which are quite good to change right now. We don't want to change the original message, okay, because it's already sent. The date sent we want to change, and delivered we want to change. Although, I guess if we do go and change the original message, yeah, I guess we should by rights have an option for that, but that means we're going to have to do the whole encrypted part. But luckily for us, we can copy and paste code to get that encryption happening. Please pay attention and don't